I want to start with a question, and I want you to actually sit with it for a second before you keep watching. Whose life is this? Like, genuinely, whose life are you living right now? Most of us would answer mine, obviously. That's the water we swim in. We're taught basically from birth that our life belongs to us, our choices, our consequences, our business. Mind your business. Live your life. It's my life. We say these things like they're self evidently true. I used to think like that too until I became a mother. I was a little bit considerate in college, high school, but when I became a mom, ooh, and this movie sealed it for me. I watched Presumed Innocent on Apple TV, and one storyline that completely wrecked that belief for me. So today I want to walk you through what happened in that show, and then I want to talk about why I think it's actually one of the most accurate metaphors for how human life really works. And why forgetting this, I think, is quietly killing people. Quick context, if you haven't seen it. Presumed Innocent follows Rusty Savage, a persecutor who's having an affair with his colleague, Caroline. Caroline ends the affair. Shortly after, she's found murdered. Her body is staged to look like a copycat killing tied to a case Rusty Savage and Caroline had once persecuted. Rusty becomes the prime suspect because, well, it's pretty obviously going to be either him or someone close to him. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Because the show isn't really about who did it, it's about how many lives got pulled into the blast radius of one man's decision to have an affair. Let's get through this step by step because every single step matters. It starts with Rusty. He has an affair with Caroline. In his head, at the time, this is probably framed as something private. It's my life. A personal failure, maybe. A bad decision between two consenting adults. Something that, if it stayed secret, would only affect him and maybe his marriage. So it would only affect him and his wife. That's the lie individualism tells you. That a choice can be contained. Because here's what actually happened. His son, Kyle, a teenager who has nothing to do with any of this, ends up being spotted near Caroline's house on the night of the murder. What a freaking coincidence. I was literally shouting when I saw that part. Just by being protective or curious or scared for his dad, the kid is now entangled in a murder investigation. His name is in the case file. His life is now part of this story, and he never signed up to be a character in it. One mistake, one bad decision. Then there's his daughter, Jaden. She goes to Caroline's house herself, and this is the part that genuinely shook me. She goes to confront the woman her father had an affair with. And in that conversation, Caroline reveals she's pregnant. Hey! This girl, I think she lost it when she heard that. With Rusty's child, with her father's child, Jaden, who's a teenager, snaps. In that moment, she kills Caroline. One bad decision. Two bad decisions now. Actually, no, three. Sit with that for a second. A literal child commits murder because of a decision her father made that he thought was contained to only his marriage. So he thinks it's only going to affect two people, it ended up affecting four people, his entire family. And then Rusty finds the body. Instead of calling the cops, what does he do? No. He stages the crime scene to a copycat killing connected to a previous case, a case involving someone Caroline had persecuted before. He's now actively obstructing justice, building an entire new web of lies. Your choices are not yours. I hope you're still following. To protect a child he didn't even know was guilty yet. By the end, the whole family agrees to never speak of it again. Rusty tells them that Jaden acted to protect the family and that ultimately this is all his fault because it's his fault. Whose fault is it? If he wasn't having that affair, his daughter would have never went there. If he wasn't having the affair, there would have been no affair baby. his wife would have not lost her job. You guys need to watch this movie. I want you to read that list back again. A wife who now lives with a buried secret, a son dragged into murder, investigation by association, a daughter who is now a killer, and a father who spends the rest of his life knowing his private choice is the reason all of this happened. Nobody in that house got to live just their own life. Not one person. His affair didn't stay with him. It became all of their affairs. It's Jaden's affair. It's everybody. Everybody collects. So here's the actual point of me bringing up this video or talking about this movie at all. We are taught, especially now, especially online, that individualism is strength, that you owe nothing to anyone, that your life, your choices, your businesses is yours and yours alone, and anyone who suggests otherwise is trying to control you or guilt trip you. This is the reason why this village that is meant to raise children is vanishing. But that's not actually how humans work. It was never meant to be that way. Every choice you make is an input into someone else's life. Think about it. Whether you intend that or not, that's how life is. Your spending habits affect your household. Your mental health affects how you show up for your kids, your partner, your friends. Your secrets, even the ones you think are so airtight, have a way of becoming someone else's burden to carry. The second they are discovered, you don't finish. This isn't a guilt trip, it's just physics, basically social physics. You are not a closed system, none of us are. We are all one intertwined web. And the fact that people keep saying this phrase, it's a small world, how haven't we figured it out by now? And I think this is where a lot of the main character energy culture online gets it wrong. There's nothing wrong with self-respect, boundaries, taking care of yourself. That's healthy. But there's a version of this that's curdled into something else. The idea that you don't need anyone, that community is optional, that the people around you are basically background characters in your personal story. That mindset doesn't protect you, it isolates you, and isolation has a body count. This isn't abstract, by the way. The World Health Organization actually did a multi-year investigation into this, and what they found is honestly staggering. Loneliness and social isolation contributes to 871,000 deaths worldwide every single year. That's not a typo. That breaks down to roughly 100 people dying every hour from loneliness-related causes globally. 100 people every hour, because the structure that used to catch people, community, extended family, neighbors checking in, people knowing your routine well enough to notice that you've gone quiet, that structure has eroded. And what replaced it for a lot of people is just nothing. A closed door and a phone. Everybody is on their phone. That's why you hear these stories. Someone passed away and isn't found for a week, 2 weeks, sometimes longer. And they only find out when the body starts to rotten. There's a smell. They start to call the cops because what is that smell? You can't figure it out. I saw a story of a woman on TikTok said that there was a liquid leaking from her roof. She called the cops and they found out that the person above was dead. That was bodily fluid leaking. It's not that nobody loved them. It's because the system of everyday connection that used to make that kind of silence impossible just isn't there anymore. So when I say your life is not yours, I'm not saying you don't have autonomy or that you owe everyone access to your decisions. I'm saying the opposite of what individualism tells us is actually true. You are never a closed system. You are a node in a network. What you do moves through that network, whether you want it to or not. So does what everyone else around you does. So your life affects them, their life affects you. It's not a burden, honestly. I think it's kind of beautiful if you let it be. It means you matter more than you think. I feel like it will reduce suicide rates because people will understand that what they do affects their family. Killing yourself or committing suicide will make your entire family and friends sad. It means that people around you aren't side characters. You guys are all co-authors. Nobody's a side character in your story. So check on people. Stay tangled up in each other's lives, even when it's inconvenient. When I was pregnant, my friends would call me, even with their busy schedule. Friends and family. I have a very big network because the alternative, the fully self-contained, my life is mine alone version of living isn't freedom. It's just a slower way of disappearing. If this made you think, let me know in the comments and let's talk about it. Hi everyone, this is Editing Esther. It is 1:49 a.m. and before you go, I had to put you on Dehanter. It's the color grading plugin I have been using with my Final Cut Pro. I shoot in D-Log on my DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and these are the colors I'm able to get with it. I had zero color grading experience before this, and it was so easy to pick up. They have set of videos and instructions, so it works for anyone, whether you're just starting out or you've been editing for years. If you want to try it, use my code Esther's Echoes, all one word, all caps. It's here on the screen at checkout for 10%. And if you want to see what the colors look like, you can look at my Freedom Fest video 2 videos ago and the video before that. And this video. So I hope you enjoy giving your video some life. Bye for now.